Welcome back to Atala Farms Homestead. We are back in the woods hunting. We've had a buck, nice little 8-point, coming to this stand the last 2 or 3 nights in a row. He's been coming in the night and the daytime. Matter of fact, I was at church this morning and middle of church he was here, so I'm hoping I can catch him slipping back through this afternoon. So we're going to sit here all afternoon and see if we can't harvest him. So it's been a pretty productive spot right here. So we've seen a lot of deer. So anyway, hope you enjoy. And I hope y'all have been enjoying these hunting videos. We've been enjoying making them for y'all. Ain't nothing fancy, but just us out here hunting. We've been hunting in this spot quite a bit. We saved it for the end of the season. This is where we've been seeing all our bucks at. So, in the beginning of the season, they were only coming out at night, and they've just now started coming out in the day. And these deer ain't rutting. They are not rutting. Everyone I've seen, necks don't look swollen. They're not chasing. Does and bucks separate. Of course, last year they were late rutting. Of course, I say late, I'm used to where I used to hunt. It's different than here. I'm getting used to this area. But anyway, hopefully next week they'll start rutting and we can get that big boy. We had 4 nice big deer on camera before season, and I hadn't seen any of those deer. They come to the feeders about 3 times and haven't been back since. So obviously a neighbor could have shot them by now or something, but I think they just slick. Hopefully they go in the rut. One of them mess up. I'd like to get Easton Man his first buck. He killed his first doe last year. I was hoping to get him his first buck this year, but he came about 5 or 6 times in a row. Was just super excited, and then just kind of fizzled out. He hasn't been since. He was gonna do it today, and he's like, He decided to ride to town with his mama, so I don't know. I guess that's just kids for you. Short attention span, but he's a good kid. He loves to hunt. So hopefully I can get him out here this afternoon or in the morning. And this next few days, this week, we're supposed to have a cold snap coming through. Next week, maybe that'll get him moving, and he can maybe get him his first buck. So, but anyway, I tell you, that weather came through yesterday. It was pretty rough. We ended up going to my wife's aunt's place, which is about 15-20 minutes from us. They have a storm shelter. We felt that it was going to get really bad, so we got everything situated at our house and left and went over there. And we actually ended up getting to the storm shelter. The wind picked up and it started roaring, and we thought there was a tornado warning out. So we got in the storm shelter for about 30-40 minutes, and it slacked up, and then I eased back to the house and found the rabbit cage. One of the rabbit cages knocked over and limbs down everywhere and on the driveway. And that was about the gist of it. But you can tell I had a video if I could get it on my security camera in my gate. Rain was just sideways, and you could tell the wind was just roaring. And supposedly there was possibly a tornado on the ground a little north of us. Just a little ways. No, south of us, south. But, good Lord ended up protecting us, and we were safe, and the place was safe. So there may be some limbs and trees down through some of the other trails. I hadn't rode everything yet. Do that the next day or two. But anyway, otherwise it was good and safe. So odd times, that kind of bad weather. We were watching Ryan Hall, y'all, along with the local weather, but mainly Ryan Hall. And Lord, I know there was 5 or 6 tornadoes on the ground across the south at one time, and he was trying to keep up with it. I don't know if y'all know about Ryan Hall, but he's got a YouTube channel called Ryan Hall Y'all, and he does the weather. He does weather reports when there's weather coming, but he goes live and streams on when severe weather is happening. Tornadoes, hurricanes, big snowstorms. And he's got a team behind him, and he's got access to storm chasers. I'm telling you, man, they've a great team. And no matter where in the United States it's going on, he's streaming it when it's happening. And real good fella too. We met him after the tornado of 2023 when it hit our house. His team came down and did some cooking and things around for him, gave away money, and my wife was watching him when right before the storm hit. They gave out a warning that it looked like a tornado before they did local news, National Weather Service, and then of course the tornado sirens never went off. So he was the only warning we had, or my wife and kids had. And so I saw they were in town. I just messaged him and said, hey, never thought I'd even get a response. Look, this is who we are, and my wife just wants to, when you come to town, would you let us know? She just wants to hug your neck and say thank you. And they asked to interview us, and they came to the house and interviewed us. And if you go search Ryan Hall's YouTube sometime after May of 23, I can't remember, into May, 1st of June, there's a video where he did. But anyway, he ended up donating some money to us too, which we weren't expecting and didn't, it was a blessing. We ended up giving half of it away to another family that needed it, a little worse than us. So, just a good fellow, genuine fellow. You can tell he really is a passion for the weather. He cares about trying to get the weather out as quick as he can to alert people, because that's the only thing that's going to save you in a tornado, is just knowing that it's coming and being able to get to a safe spot. So if y'all ever need a good weather source to keep up with the weather, Ryan Hall Y'all on YouTube is a great source. outdoors. You'll not go wrong, following him. So good guy. He does real good. And then there's another guy, Weatherman Plus. He doesn't go live, but he gives weather reports. I like him too. He's a good Christian fellow. So those two guys, great for keeping up with the weather. And like I said, we were watching Ride Home with y'all, and I look at Mr. Weatherman Plus daily because he just gives like forecasting. He doesn't go live, but his forecasts are pretty good in my opinion. And he's forecasted some things 2-3 weeks out, come to like hurricanes and different things. Said, look, we ought to keep an eye on this. He doesn't fearmonger. He just says, look, this is concerning. We need to keep a look at it, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, but two good people to follow for the weather. And like I said, we were keeping up with Ride Hall last night, and we just, because of the reports went out the way it first started, we went over to, like I said, the aunt's house and got in the storm shelter, and we don't have one yet. My priority this year is to buy one or build one. I'm trying to decide what to do. Obviously, they're quite expensive. And I kind of was wanting one bigger than what they sell. We've got a little hillside behind our house. It'd be perfect where we can put it. And we're kind of wanting to use it as a root cellar also. So I was kind of wanting one bigger than what they sell. And I think that's a squirrel. But the only way to do that is to really build one. And I've been looking at different plans and YouTube videos and thinking about building one out of cinder blocks, filling it full of concrete, obviously, and rebar, and a roof on it, and some kind of door. I have to fabricate a door, some kind of steel door, but anyway, but either way, my goal is to have one by the end of the year. So the government has a program where they will reimburse you for one, but they haven't opened the program back up. It's been a year since the tornado, and they only reimburse you 75%, I think up to $3,500. And that's to meet all these specifications. And who knows if they'll open it up in the next 2 or 3 years. So anyway, we're gonna figure something out, get us a storm shelter one way or another. Because we do not want the family to ride out another one in a house. It's beautiful out here, so peaceful. I'm gonna shut up so we can see a deer. Give you a little view of the sights. here since about 11:30. Planning on sitting to sit all afternoon. Hoping that buck will show up. He's been coming 2 or 3 times today to this area, so hopefully we'll get a chance at him. If we don't, we don't. We'll do it again another day, but I'm sure I want to get some meat in the freezer. We had 4 last year, and that was 2 smaller does and 1 buck and 1 bigger doe. That lasted us most of the year. So I'm hoping to get about the same amount of meat in the freezer this year. We do probably 80% of it deer burger, a little bit in breakfast sausage, and a little bit in smoked sausage. We just use so much ground meat, lasagna and spaghetti and tacos and hamburgers, and we eat a lot of ground meat, so a lot of beef. So this kind of helps supplement between the neck roasts and the tenderloins. We try not to waste any part of the deer, so anyway, we try to get it done in the place I get my deer processed in. They offer a chuck burger. And the first batch we did just plain deer burger, and then I got that chuck burger, and they do it right. Gets just the right amount of fat in it, and it's perfect. Fries up good if you want to make burgers out of it. It has a good taste. I've never had any gamey meat come back from the processor I use, but I'm particular how I clean my deer, and we get them clean. We drain them good. We don't put water on. A lot of people put ice and let the meat get water on it. That does something to it too. So we try to handle it properly so it doesn't have that gamey taste. So and the processor's real good too. So anyway, my goal is I'd like to get my own walk-in cooler on the property one day, and learn how to process myself and do it myself. But don't have the equipment for that now. I honestly ain't got the time. So for now, I'll pay somebody else that knows how to do it. So. If you don't like hunting, you ought to try it. This is one venison is just great meat. Prepared right, it's healthy for you, it tastes good. But just peacefulness being in the woods and seeing God's creation in nature. Birds chirping and animals moving around, and it's a great thing being out here in God's country. Looking at all the trees. There's a tree. There's 7, 8 oak trees around me that are giant. I'm looking at one particular. It's probably 4 foot across. 3.5, 4 foot. No telling how old that oak tree is and what it's seen. this happened in this area. And, you know, it's probably 700 years old. I don't know. It's old. Just imagine the things that's been through here. The people from the first settlers on. How the landscape's changed and just every little thing. That's what I like to do. One thing I like to walk through the woods and find little odd anomalies. And you'll find stuff in the woods. You'll find bottles and metal and everything. You're like, well, I wonder what happened here. Did they have a whiskey still? Or was this a work site? Or, you know, this property I'm on, they used to farm cattle, part of it. So we found some old barbed wire fences through the wood. It's now woods. So supposedly there's an old well, hand-dug well somewhere on this property, and they don't know where it's at. And I haven't found it yet, so that would be neat to find to see if it still works, or could I get it working? So that's pretty neat. Well, been sitting here since about 11:30. Hadn't seen anything but squirrels and birds. It's about 4:45, 4:50. Not a whole lot more daylight left, so we're going to sit here till dark and see what happens. Hopefully something right here at the last minute will come out, but if it doesn't, we'll come back tomorrow. We just can tell my son all the time. It says about persistence, putting the time in. If you put enough time in the woods, you're eventually it's gonna pay off. So it's about consistency. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed the video today. We enjoyed making it for you, that's for sure. So we hope that you have a blessed week, that the good Lord answers your prayers.